The biggest update in Call of Dragons history is coming soon, and today I will recap everything that it includes for you. Hi everyone, I'm Zaraz from @Casuals, and today we're going to talk about the update 1.0.17 Roots of War. The biggest addition to our game with this update is going to be Roots of War, which is basically a new game mode. For those of you who have played Rise of Kingdom, it is very similar to Ark of Osiris. This will make so that 30 players will be matched against 30 other players from another server, another alliance, somewhere completely different. It is not clear exactly, but usually it takes from every server available, and you will go on a 30 versus 30 gameplay fighting arena. It will last probably something like an hour if it's like Ark of Osiris. And one thing that is very important is that you will not lose any troop. Any legion that are hurt will get fully healed out of it. So it's basically kind of like an instance 30 versus 30 fight where you do whatever you want. You can lose all your units, you can try all your heroes and have a lot of fun. And then afterwards, you go back to the game the way it was. Now, this looks like it's going to have similar features as Ark of Osiris in Rise of Kingdom, meaning that you will be capturing buildings to gain points. You will be delivering life stones, which is probably something you have to pick up somewhere and bring back to your buildings. You will gather resources, so gathering resources will give you points, so it is going to be important to have decent gathering marches, and as well defeat opponents. Fighting, this is going to be what it's all about. Now, as opposed to a game like Rise of Kingdom, this has ranged and flying, which will make it so that there's going to be a lot more strategy. I'm quite excited for this because since they've already built the programming behind it all, because it's very similar in the gameplay engine for the game called Dragons, but they're going to be adding a lot of features that they can't add in Rise of Kingdom. So this is going to make it so there's going to be a lot more strategy involved and a lot more tier crafting. It's not going to just be whoever has the most T5 wins. It's going to be very interesting. I'm quite excited for this, especially because at the beginning of the game, not everybody has all the heroes max. So it's going to have a lot of different potential to see some hero pairs that you didn't think were good, but when you get beat by them, you realize actually they were pretty good. The map is going to look like this. So obviously one team is here, one team is here. You can reach through the middle here, those bridges. Obviously the middle is going to be a contested area, but you can see there's a lot of trees around and a lot of these like statues, so towers and trees and these other things. So obviously a lot of objectives to defend, to capture, a lot of places to defend, to set up choke points and all this kind of stuff. So it's going to be a very interesting game mode. There is some small gameplay footage you can see on the developer's official YouTube channel. They have a video with the two community managers who show you a little bit what it looks like. So I recommend you go look at that. I will put the link in the description of this video if you're interested, to support the game creators, of course. Now, next in here, there is a new event. So this is going to be obviously an event that pops up like any other event every few weeks, every few days, every few months, who knows. But Celestial Battlegrounds. So this is not something we've seen before. You have 10 rounds of incoming enemies. So think about maybe Dragon Trail, where you fight in this map that gets generated, and then you have enemies that kind of just appear and you fight them. So this will be something like that, where it gets obviously progressively harder. They get buffs, and the time limit, if you reach it, you gain more points, and then you're going to get some rewards, of course. This might be something with rankings, so maybe your whole server is going to fight, so you can see who's the best at finding PvE stuff, as opposed to simply PvP, who's better at merit or spending, something like that. So this is going to be some kind of like a PvE oriented, where your marches against enemy units. So maybe peacekeepers will have some place in here, because right now having a peacekeeper tree doesn't have much benefits, and I don't know anyone who uses it in any situation almost whatsoever, especially since they nerfed the behemoth buffs that it gave before, even though it was not intended. So of course we will see what this is, but having PvE event with ladders would be very fun. I would like to see what the rankings look like, because it will add another layer to this game, as long as the rewards are good. Now, an event calendar is something that many people will appreciate, as it will tell you obviously when the events are coming, so you can plan ahead when you have speed ups and training, all that kind of stuff. It is something that Rise of Kingdom players will know, as it is something that is available, but it will obviously just add a very good quality of life improvement for Call of Dragons player. Now, new artifact. So there's only one new artifact. It is going to be the Gold Crest. It is a marksman PvP control. So it is a PvP oriented marksman artifact. And specifically, it is an artifact that is mostly made for the new archer hero, the new marksman hero, Freygar, which is the hero you can get on the wheel currently. So most available to basically anyone. So in first the artifact itself is a 2800 skill damage artifact that gives you March speed. So this is a very, very powerful artifact. The damage factor is quite high. March speed is very good and will work very well on archers who are a generally slower units. And then there is a additional damage when you have this hero, Fargar, in your legion. Now this will make it so that you do 900 additional seal damage and immobilize the enemy legion for 3 seconds. So this is basically going to be the best PvP marksman artifact in the game, bars none, because Fargar is not the best archer in the game, but she is in any case a very strong hero, and at 5111 she is not only usable but she is excellent. Kinara and her, both 5111, will be one of the best archer march you can get in this game right now for any free-to-play or even spenders. Spenders will obviously have it invested higher, but it just means that it's a very good hero, so there is nothing wrong with using her in any of your archer march. I would recommend it. I will mostly do it so myself once the third wheel has come and I've made her higher level. But she is obviously going to have this artifact now, so if you do get this artifact, she's going to be a must-use. Immobilizing an enemy legion, for those of you who've played this game long enough to get farm hunted or have people run around with calves and all that kind of stuff, this will obviously make a huge deal. It will make it so that you can immobilize a legion, you can then put infantry in front of them, block them, or use your own cavalry. You can just kill them easier. It gives you a lot more control. If 4 or 5 of you have this artifact in a group, you can really prevent some like flank attack and stuff like that, but give your time to other marches to defend, all this kind of stuff. This is going to be one of the best artifacts in the game for PvP. There was just no question about it. So if you see it, if you can get it, or if you can start saving right now some gems for it, I would recommend. So I don't know exactly where it's going to come from. It might come from one of these events where you can get those special keys. Now, I've made a video about these before, but you can see you can get 5 of these forged artifact keys every week. I recommend you must and you should save them exactly for moments like this when there's new artifacts and there is a chance that they are on this event. It's just too good of an artifact not to do so. Now, lastly, in this sneak peek, you can see that there will be adding war pets. Now, we obviously don't have any information on what this means, but it is going to be obviously something additional. Whether it's when you bring a march, you have a third hero, which is a pet, which adds buffs and bonuses. Whether it's some kind of mount thing that you can move around faster, because I know the traveling in this game is very slow and very long sometimes. Whether it's just kind of like a buff that some heroes get and there's a pet that fights with them. It's hard to know exactly because this is not a feature that exists in their other game, Rise of Kingdom. This is nothing that we've seen before, so this is completely unique to Call of Dragons. And as a now official content creator for this game, hopefully I will get some information on this and will be able to update you faster when the information is given to me. Now, here are the patch notes. Of course, you've all seen them, so I'm just going to go recap some of the important points that you might have missed in case you don't feel like reading the whole thing. Of course, we talk about Roots of War. It's going to be a 30 versus 30, and there's, interesting. There's going to be powerful artifact skills, so maybe extra skills that are given just for this mode, just like Rise of Kingdom. Now, the attack buff of Tia's skill will be adjusted duration, which means it will last until they lose the shield. So this is a buff to Tia, a small buff, but it's still a buff, especially if you're not getting attacked. She will not lose her shield fast, so meaning that the attack buff will last longer. Now, alliance improvements, that's a pretty nice thing. They're fixing a lot of stuff for alliances. Alliance leader and officers can now edit the information and make it like there's a share to chat channel. So it will give a lot of room for leadership to be able to allow and manage alliance recruitment, all kind of stuff. There's also alliance logs, which will show major events, battles, and stuff like that. So we don't have that in this game right now. So there's no way of knowing who did what happened, stuff like that. So this will be a good way to keep up to date. Oh, my alliance is doing this and that, and have like kind of memory in order to reminisce on this kind of stuff later on in the game. Now, alliance members who have been offline for 3 days will be notifying their officers and leaders. So there's gonna be a mail. This person has been logged on for X amount of days, which is going to be obviously 3 days or more. So it will show you who's inactive and who hasn't played or quit the game, something like that. A very needed feature because it's hard to keep track right now when there's hundreds of people in an alliance. There's also going to be a reset feature for policies. So you will be able to reset your policy and refund all prestige. So it's like when you do resurgence without losing your prestige, it has a 30-day cooldown, so you cannot use it many often. But I will tell you exactly what this is for. It's for someone like me who stupidly did a very bad mistake because I was doing a video and I clicked quickly. When you go in here you have the choice between free elixir production or resource healing. I do not like resource healing. I'm poor in resource, so it is very stupid for me to have done resource healing here. Obviously, I'm not really paying attention to it, but if I can reset it, obviously now we'll have to reenact everything. It will take time or will cost gem, but I will be able to come and get these medical supplies, which is, 50,000 elixir production every single day at the hospital, which is a massive deal. 50,000 more troops you can heal every 24 hours, basically. So this is who it's for and why this change was made. It's actually a very, very big improvement for myself and for many players, because it is easy to make mistakes and you can't change it now. If you choose the wrong one, you're done with it. So this is a very, very appreciated from the developers. Very nice that they've added that. Now, seasonal custom tokens will have some changes to them. So if a hero is a generation 1 hero, so basically anyone but the 2 new archers, you may exchange a G1 token or higher for that hero. So you can use basically your G2 token, like your season 2 token, for season 1 heroes. So you can see here the season 1, season 2, it kind of tells you. So basically this just makes it so that you can, if you don't care about the new heroes, you can still focus your tokens that you're getting from different things in the game back into season 1 heroes, so you can max them out. And the one thing that is really important to remember is that all of these heroes are available in the golden chest that you get. These ones are not. Maybe in the future, I'm not sure, but it wouldn't be very smart if you're trying to be very good long term in this game to use these tokens on heroes that you will be getting keys for the rest of this game's life. Because you will eventually max all of these heroes out without having to spend any money or any tokens on them if you play this game for, let's say, 2, 3, or 4 years. For those of you who have played Desert Kingdom for this long, you know what I'm talking about. Now, one interesting change here is beginning with Season 1 Plus, which is obviously the one we're in right now, but it will work for people who are just starting the game now, who are not yet at this season, anyone in the future. You will not be able to attack players for 48 hours in the first season start. Basically, when you just get into a map, you can't attack players, meaning that a lot of people get teleported randomly and you can't attack their cities and destroy everything they have. You will need to obviously wait 2 days and then you will be able to fight. So this is going to be a little bit weird because a lot of the lines will be set up full cities and full walls and fortresses and all that kind of stuff before they start fighting. So of course, enjoyable events. We talked about this, the event calendar in the new event Celestial Battlegrounds. We will see what it looks like when it is available. And a more accessible map. You can see all the alliance, the villages, all that kind of stuff. It'll just be much easier to manage villages stuff than it is right now. Added a season chat channel, so obviously this will be interesting. You will have a chat channel that will be for people who will be in the next server with you, so you'll be able to chat with them during the season summary. So, it's going to be just an additional chat channel, kind of like KVK channel, people who play the Pillars of Kingdom. Lastly, of course, there's a few other changes here, little community things you can share in-game chats, improve building visuals here, improve the display for chat channels. You can see how many unread messages you have. There's a pre-download feature. Obviously, this is going to be great, so you can download the patches early for those who have slower internet. And of course, PC improvements in general, recommended by the developers and by basically any players, that if you can play on a PC, on the PC version, it is the best way to play this game. And it has the best latency, the best results. It works the best for PvP, has the best control. It just works better than anything else. So that's about it for the update, Root of War. Of course, as soon as some of this content is live, watch out for some videos on this on the channel. And if you have any questions or comment about this, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.